There was once a cricket series, played by Australian state teams, which would be forgotten almost as soon as it was played. The matches would not have official status under the Sheffield Shield competition. The score sheets would not be included in the archives or statistic books. It would go down as a footnote in cricket history if it was mentioned at all. It was the lost season. Soon after the declaration of the armistice, the cessation of hostilities in the First World War, administrators from the Foundation State Cricket Associations of New South Wales, Victoria and South Australia came together at a meeting in Sydney, agreeing to a limited season to kickstart the sport after a 4-year hiatus. Victoria would play New South Wales at the Melbourne Cricket Ground on Boxing Day 1918, then hosting South Australia on New Year's Day 1919. New South Wales would take on Victoria in the return match at the Sydney Cricket Ground on Anniversary Day, the forerunner to Australia Day on the 26th of January. And there would also be a plan for New South Wales to play Minnows Queensland in Brisbane during Easter 1919. Match 1 in Melbourne saw a New South Wales side captained by Test veteran Monty Noble travel south. The match would be notable for the debut of stylish batsman Alan Kippax, who would go on to grace Test and first-class cricket, but a high score of 131 from Victorian batsman and Essendon Football Club fullback Fred Baring saw the locals defeating New South Wales by 216 runs. Match 2 would see a Warwick Armstrong-led Victoria, again the dominant team, thrashing South Australia by 322 runs on the back of 6 for 69 from future Test fast bowler Ted McDonald, ripping through the South Australians in their final innings. Future Australian captain and Chappell Brothers grandfather Victor Richardson would debut in this match. Back in Sydney on Anniversary Day 1919, New South Wales had Victoria dismissed cheaply in their first innings, but slumped to 86 in their opening stanza, owing to a lightning spell by speedster Ted McDonald with 8 for 42. The home side made up for their first innings humiliation with a successful run chase on the back of James Bogle's 145. The Blues winning by 6 wickets. A proposed match in Brisbane between New South Wales and Queensland in Easter 1919 hit a snag, with what would be eerily echoed over a century later. The Spanish influenza pandemic, which had killed millions around the world, had reached Australia, where it would go on to kill thousands. Due to the Queensland border being closed due to quarantine restrictions, the match between New South Wales and Queensland would be called off. Despite fading into obscurity, the shortened season of 1918-19 would herald the introduction of 8-ball overs into Australian cricket, and many of the cricketers who made their state debuts in that series, like Alan Kippax, Victor Richardson, Ted McDonald and Clary Grimmett, would go on to successful Test careers and become household names. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.